Hello and welcome to the 9th episode of the Dice for Brains podcast. I'm Ross Rockefeller. This is an actual play podcast told in an episodic structure through the course of a season. For the first season, we'll be telling a story set in the Star Wars universe, using Fantasy Flight Games' Star Wars Force and Destiny. Season 1 of the Dice for Brains podcast is brought to you by D20 GameSpot in St. Augustine, Florida. All music is composed and performed by Jared Pennick at Z-Chord Studios in Gainesville, Florida. Listener Josh writes, "So I'd like to say this is an amazing actual play podcast. Sound quality is second to none," which is generous. I would like to request that you please continue the Star Wars actual play. Thanks very much for writing in, Josh. And good news, almost everyone felt exactly the same way. So we will in fact be continuing our Star Wars stories in Season 2. Head over to the website for more information on that. If you want to send us an email, you can send it to diceforbrains@gmail.com or head over to the website, diceforbrains.com, and use the Contact Us link. Now, let's meet the cast and get on with the episode.
David Wright is playing Zen Malek, the enthusiastic, though often reckless, mystic Force exile.
He's a Nautilin, right?
He is a Nautilin.
He's got
the
green,
greenish blue
skin.
skin
Yep.
with many, many tentacles. Big, dark, expressive eyes. And
I'm Susan White. I'm playing Bher the Lesser, a human female warrior aggressor. And she is a traditional fisher person on her home planet of Bavva.
Joshu Reynolds here, and I'll be playing Gree, the Twi'lek, twin tentacle-headed, ochre-skinned artisan and sentinel, who's very compassionate, but also very angry with people who do terrible things. So he's compassionate and kind of a hater on the bad guys.
So, can you tell me a time where Zen was either mistaken for someone else or mistook someone for someone else?
all humans look alike to me.
You're playing that card? All right.
Well, you can tell the difference with you look at that stuff coming out of the top of their heads. It's a different color on some of them. Some of them have that stuff on their face, which is weird. And so that's how you kind of tell, because the facial features they have those really weak nose ridges and
Right. How can you possibly tell what's going on? It's easier for a Twi'lek. They use the same sort of facial recognition
they have it
system.
on their face, and that's weird.
It is. Males especially.
But it's not like
mostly.
It's not racism, because I don't discriminate against them.
Right.
It's just that they all look the same to me.
Anytime Bher has fallen for or been part of a case of mistaken identity?
She one time was in the marketplace picking up the groceries, and she saw a man. She got a very strong impression that he was watching her, and she didn't get a chance to get too close to him, but kind of gave her an uncomfortable feeling that there might be somebody out there that was very similar in personality to her uncle, who was and still is her martial arts trainer as well as her father figure.
How about Mr. Gree?
Mr. Gree was, when he was about 14 or 15, somebody thought that Gree was their property, when he was actually legally someone else's property, I want to say. And he was getting thrown onto a ship and was going to be taken off planet. And then the authorities, hunted down where they thought he was a runaway, and he was more of a kidnap victim. And they took him back.
So this is why Zen has such a sunny outlook on life. Like, really, no matter what has happened to me, my life has not been that bad.
That's it. You grease your battery of optimism. All right. So where we left off, you had successfully escaped the jungle, probably farther down than you'd ever been before.
Yes.
Ran into your old buddy Max, which was cool.
Max, who took up fishing.
And then made your way over to Mr. Jinchenko's scorch mark to see if he knew what was going on with Tenga, right? I believe.
Well, actually, we actually had decided we're gonna try to get on his good side, since he had some stake in this.
Since we're outlaws, we're just basically rolling out.
I actually want to convince the outlaws to join us and to oust the Empire.
Yeah.
Right. So form a proper rebellion with
Yeah.
the criminals.
Which, according to T6, means we're actually going to have to commandeer a lot of their equipment.
Right, yeah. I know, T6 talks a lot of nonsense.
I don't know. I'm into T6. Like I said, I was researching silent weaponry, so we'll get to that when I get a chance to get back to T6.
But as you ended up at the Scorch Mark, Janko isn't all you found, correct?
Oh, no. It was actually not. We did find him, but it
We found a
wasn't
stupid
in a state.
Gamorrean, and we
Yes,
found
the Gamorrean.
another crime boss.
Yeah, inside, like hidden in the office, in the secret entrance, like the servant's entrance. That was next to the main
Specifically,
one.
Tang O'Donnell.
And his two giant, like, modified battle droids.
Yep.
A whole bunch of unconscious
Bunch
gangsters.
of stunned, smoking gangsters, and one conscious and very uncomfortable Janko, the receiving end of a blaster.
So in the basement of the Scorch Mark, there's this kind of open area, makeshift office. Janko's goons are stunned on the floor with the battle goons, modified battle droids, standing watch, basically. Janko is on his knees. Tang O'Donnell has the barrel of a blaster on him. And when you come in, he says, "Ah, Druck."
I picture we're kind of frozen, looking at it. So, would you like us to come back later?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Well,
finishing.
I was actually addressing Jake.
Yeah.
Boy, don't get.
Hi, Tenga.
Yeah, nice to see you again. How you been?
Oh, I've been better. But I'm doing a fine bit better than Mr. Janko here.
Yeah, it looks like you guys were having quite a party. Most people have already checked out.
I like the cut of your jib, son.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're just having a conversation.
About what?
Backed up, probably.
You're right, son. I had a deal worked out with a buddy out in the Imperial land, and I think Mr. Janko here got himself wormed right in the middle of it and made off with something I needed.
Well, we came here because we were going to try to convince Jenga to lend us some of his thugs or lend us his muscle to stick it to the Empire.
What do you think, Janko? Can you work together? What do you think, Tanga? Can you take the blaster maybe a little bit away from his head and work with him here?
Well, when I remove it, his mouth just keeps going, all lies. And I'm trying to keep his lie hole shut right now. His teeth are gritting. He's angry. He's not charming in the way he's always tried to keep that little air going. This is a slightly different
This is
Tanga than you
the
saw
side
last
that
time.
shot people.
Guys, we're not getting anywhere with him.
Are these corpses or bodies? I mean,
These are
corpses or unconscious people.
Unconscious people, stunned.
And I reach in my tool bag. I've got a little roll of tape.
Okay.
I unroll it. It's like on a keychain, like a little tube. It's like, here, take it. Let me help you out with that.
Pulls the blaster away. Well, get it done, boy.
All right, I tape his mouth.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. There. Carry on. Step out of the way.
We're looking for help taking things from the Empire again.
Yeah. Starting with people, we think we're going to release some very what could be potentially very, very useful allies who recently were taken captive by the Empire.
Bher, I don't think you got nothing to worry about Rand. I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, it's my mother I'm worried about.
Why do you think he got himself arrested?
I see. Okay. But there were a whole bunch of other innocent people taken. We can't just let them rot.
Y'all are you just want to get yourselves killed. I told you, you can't win.
You can't win. I won't stop until I've won.
All right, boy, what's your plan? Let's hear it. I got every fighter I have called back. They're going to be here tomorrow. You can't help. Get out the way.
What are you going to be doing then?
I told you the other night, I'm going to take them all with me.
Instead of just trying to kill yourself and throwing yourself up in a suicide mission, why don't you come up with some sort of strategy?
Because every time I do, you got dirtbags like Mr. Janko here getting in the way.
I pull the tape off of his mouth.
Ah! I didn't do anything! This is ridiculous, Tenga.
Somebody took the Bacta from the...
Yeah, Bacta. Everybody's screaming about Bacta. That's all. He just says Bacta and just shoves a gun in my mouth. I didn't do anything. Fights. I do fights.
So if you didn't take...
Some Imperial guys come in here, rig fights every now and then. That's it. That's all I do. That is my only encounter with them. Boy, he's lying.
I'm not talking about your deal. I'm talking about Tenga's deal with the Imperials. Somebody interfered with that. Who was it if it wasn't you?
Why would I know?
Because you know Imperials that come here and rig fights. That would also steal the Bacta that we were after. So just give us some names. Give us some people.
Thaco. That's who I know. Thaco. Captain Thaco comes in, pays money, rigs fights, moves on. I've done some other stuff, personal stuff for him, but I didn't steal Bacta. What do I need Bacta for? I need my guys to be beat up. That's the point. This man's a lying cheat.
Right. And you're criminal scum, but we're all going to work together.
I think what my companion here is trying to say is that you may both have opportunistic pasts, taking advantage of situations. And that's all I feel like we need to do here. The Empire, something's wrong with it. It's harder than ever before on everybody on this planet. We gotta, in order to be able to get rid of them, we might need to pool our resources, and he does have resources. He's got hands and blasters that could work for you.
I got half his men arrested yesterday. He don't got anybody left.
So we go and we get them out of the prison.
Oh, again with this prison thing. All right.
Look, you asked me for a strategy, and here's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about winning this tomorrow. We're in this for the long game. This is not, you don't overthrow an empire over the course of a weekend. If the rumors that we've heard are not true, then we're talking about a galactic organization. It's not something that we're just going to do on our own. We just want them off Bavva. Once we clear Bavva, then if we have to, we join up with the others, if they still exist.
I've been reaching out. They're not there. I've been calling everybody.
You're in the middle of a blockade. Do you really think the Imperial government isn't monitoring every single communication off this planet?
Yeah, and shutting it all down. Long story short, though, Tenga, if you want Bacta, the Imperials have it, and we'll fight through them, and you'll be able to get to it.
She's already dead. And I'll need a roll for this.
All right, what do we roll?
This is going to be Charm. The difficulty is going to be 2 difficulty dice and 1 challenge die. I'm going to spend a dark side point. It's a group charm roll. We'll get 2 boost die for the group helping you out. Setback die. There is 1 because Janko has some personal stuff going on right now.
Okay, I ignore setback die to charm rolls. I can remove 1 per rank
Excellent.
to charm and leadership.
1 is all I gave you, so that is removed then.
Right on.
Let's roll it, right? I think we're good. That's a pool. A lot of crazy stuff could happen right now.
Yes.
Like, a lot of stuff could change right now
really
based on
hoping for
this.
For the goodies, yeah, buddy.
All right, so let's do some negating here. 4 successes, 2 threat, and a triumph.
All right. So, 4 successes. You know when you just crack somebody, finally you get past that stubborn shell, like he shatters, he slumps. You beat him. You beat him up, basically. He's been under a lot of pressure, a lot of pain, and a lot of stress lately.
I think that's because it just occurred to him the way it literally just occurred to Zen. This isn't something we're doing tomorrow.
He's diffused, completely diffused, if not probably a little sad at this point. The 2 threats are used for Janko to spend 1 as a maneuver and the other to try to run. And your triumph.
How about this for the triumph? That Zen was able to sway both of these criminal overlords to our cause of essentially rebellion. They totally buy what you say. So I kind of force my key into my focus on the moment, get all alpha wave and Zen with it, roll on the ground, do like a dolphin dive barrel roll, come up in front of, or right next to him, essentially, next to him in the door, holding the rock cutter out in front of him, and say, "Stop! We need you."
Excellent. So the green glow is...
I'm imagining Jake's eyes wide, believes that maybe there's a Jedi on his car.
Yes. But Janko's eyes are a little wider. His little doughy face has a green glow cast on it for the first time in his life. And fun fact, these are stories he might have heard about.
Right.
So he is frozen in place and staring straight at you. And you are amazed because he is not a fit guy and he managed to stop real quick. Tenga is wide-eyed, but trying not to look it.
Yeah.
Pulls his hat down just a little bit against the saber glow.
Tanga, you said you have your men coming here?
Yeah, they'll be here tonight.
Good. We'll need men. We're not going to get this done overnight, but we're going to be adding to our numbers.
If I was putting martial law in a place, though, one of the first things I would crack down on is known hives of scum and villainy. And as this is one, we probably don't want to be basing here.
Yeah, you're right. We need to get moving.
Okay, well, we need a rendezvous point.
All right.
Jank, listen to me. We have to have your help too. This is the empire that we're talking about. There are hundreds of thousands. They have practically unlimited resources. You have to come with us.
Yeah, I'm coming. Just don't expect much. I just got brutes. We're gonna be fine here. I can help you take here stuff, but you're talking about fighting a whole empire.
Yes, so every person counts. You need to come with us now.
Yes, ma'am. So Tenga puts his blaster back in his holster. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. Don't you get any of that blood in my speeder, though.
Most of it's dry by now.
Tenga nods over at his battle goons. And
Yeah,
they
the battle goons.
pick up two of Jinkchenko's men apiece and kind of sling them over their arms and get ready to walk them out to the parking lot.
Nice.
Tenga starts heading towards the door.
Tanga, I know you're trying to help someone. Are you sure they're beyond help at this point?
Yeah, I'm sure. He walks past you.
Okay.
So out in the parking lot, there's some large transport type land speeder things, work trucks, fishing cranes, that kind of thing. Your two slick speeders are out there. One's got some blood on it. Were you driving the red one? So maybe you can't see the blood, hopefully.
Yeah, it is nighttime now, so he's not he's not over there inspecting. Either way, I'm going to go try to make sure I buff it up. You can use my shirt on it.
Excellent.
I don't want to take this toy away.
I love the idea that Gree is trying to buff the blood out of the speeder
While still bleeding.
while Bher is trying
Bear's
to...
like, hold still, I'm trying to get this...
Gree, would you stop that and come here? Lie down. I don't care if it's in the
I
dirt.
don't need to lie down. Just here. Use
Yes,
some of
you
my,
do.
Use some of my tape.
Push.
Just tape. You could just put super glue and tape on it. It'll be fine.
No, would you come here? I have a medical kit. Come here and lie down now.
All right, I'll sit.
Excellent. Let's roll that.
All right. 1 success, 1 threat, and 1 triumph, baby.
That is unbelievable.
Can she cure him completely?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
assume
you're
that's
cured.
pretty much what it's got to be, right?
Well, there's a threat, right?
The threat is you actually got more blood on the speeder, trying to get blood off the speeder.
Oh, I took off my shirt and rubbed it everywhere, and now
Yeah.
it's just a smeary mess.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you're patched up now. That does take 1 use of your stim pack. So
Okay, I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
excellent.
All right. So through Bher's brilliant medical skills, she has managed to completely restore Gree to perfect health.
It even took all my strain away.
And made him feel
Alright.
like a jerk for not just immediately doing what you said, because you obviously know what the heck you are talking about.
That's true. He should feel a little bit bad about that.
I learned my lesson, all right?
I'm gonna give him a point of conflict for that. Don't you worry. Okay, what is Zen up to in the parking lot as everyone is getting ready to go with Tenga?
While she's administering to Gree's wounds,
Sure.
I'm just going to climb onto the black speeder. I always got these ideas about what was happening and that sort of thing. And now that I think that I am doing them on myself and it's not just luck, I'm going to take the little blue crystal that I found in the cave out of my pocket and look at it a little bit. That's going to give me the idea to think about the future and try to see if I can get some sense of what's going to happen next day or two.
So you're going to use Force C.
I am going to use Force C. All right.
Whoa.
Apparently I don't get anything from it.
What do you have? What came up on the roll?
I pulled up 3 dark side points.
If you use it, I'll let you see all of your futures.
Right, which exactly seems like the thing to do. But I think the thing that Zen learned in the cave was that his first instinct was wrong. And I think stopping is the thing to do because this feels like, oh yeah, it's easy.
Well, is this an option? Like, because you rolled dark side, you want to retract your efforts so you don't develop?
You can choose not to.
Okay. So you can...
When he asked the Force for help, and the only thing that came calling was the black ick.
The ick. So he just chose not to...
Not to use it.
Not.
Yeah.
So he's... Yeah, okay.
And then the ick was like, but come on, guy, I've got your buddies here. You can see their future, too. Maybe even tomorrow. Maybe to find out how
Which
this whole thing...
Which was what solidified in his head that that's exactly not what he wants to do.
Interesting.
All right, so Tanga has got the Tanga mobile, the Cadillac all loaded up, goons in.
We're waiting on coordinates from Tanga. He said he was going to give us those.
Yeah, they come across your comms. Bloop, bloop.
Okay.
You've got a location in the Bavva Plains, a couple of clicks outside of town. It seems like a nondescript place in the middle of the rock land. It doesn't really.
Mm-hmm.
There's no city there or anything like that.
It's just out there in the rocks. Is there? I'm looking around if there's anything around here to scavenge.
You looking to scavenge out something out in the parking lot?
No, I eyeball around. Yeah, if there's like an extra speeder or anything else, I have a feeling we're going to be light on gear rations.
There's a like a junkie, a couple junk speeders, like land transport things that are around. Sure, they must have been Jinchenko's men's or something like that.
Oh, I'm going to once over them looking for anything that might be useful to us.
Are you looking for survival stuff or are you looking for gear?
I'm kind of looking. I lean towards the gear side of things.
So
even
you're
though I should
looking
be looking for survival stuff. That's still on my list, but I'm not a survivalist.
So you're looking to break into somebody's car for stuff, but you'll settle for the Kit Kat they have or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm feeling kind of desperate.
These are our allies.
Yeah. That's why they'll be happy to share their stuff with us, Zen.
All right, roll it.
Okay. So I have that will default to skullduggery to my cunning, which is a 3.
It'll be 2 difficulty dice for Jinchenko's goon's car.
Goon's cars.
You'll have 1 setback die because his car is filthy.
Okay.
Yep, that's what you got.
Can I take that away for the -1 setback die for desert environs?
Outside, that's your Twi'lek one, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you because it hasn't come into play yet. Yep,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, then I'm just going to roll
Let's
this real
do
quick.
it.
So oh, this is weird. All right, so I wind up with is 2 advantage and 1 fail.
So he didn't have anything in his car, basically, is
Yeah,
what that amounts
yeah.
to. But you did get 2 advantages from it. So what are they?
Which I...
And remember, you can spend both at once for like a bigger effect.
2 advantages. How about the keys to the thing are left in it?
Okay.
Rather than finding anything particularly useful in it?
I mean, you could pretty much steal this thing at your leisure anyway. Yeah.
I could take the junker instead.
It's got the little visor. You flip it down, keys fall out.
Zen, I found you a ride.
It does have a fish tank in the back. That's the other advantage.
Oh my gosh. Here's Zen. Toss him the keys. Got you a ride.
I'm not stealing a car.
No, you're not stealing it. I stole it.
And it's a fish tank for like a goldfish, so you couldn't even fit it. It's like...
You're not stealing it. I
Like, what is that, 10 gallons?
And now I'm giving it to you.
I can't even drive, man. I appreciate the thought, but I'm not taking somebody's car that I'm just going to drive into the side of a mountain.
That's right. You had a 5-minute lesson on how to drive a weaponized
Zen, I really
land
think
speeder.
you should drive. Since Gree is supposed to be resting in the back of my speeder, please get in, Gree.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you better listen to that.
I am.
She will get another triumph on you.
I
Not to
know.
drive again. Anyway.
Come on,
This'll
Zen, you
be
can
fun.
do this. 5 minutes.
It'll be easier to handle anyways. All right, so what's the vehicle situation then? So
We're
you're
on the 2 speeders, apparently.
you're driving...
The 2 speeder bikes.
We declined taking the fish tank, I guess.
Okay, all right. So you are on the back of Bher's speeder, trying not to move too much, and she's spending the majority of the trip
I feel
just yelling
great,
at
though.
you for being a jerk, I imagine.
Still feel good.
And then Zen is following closely behind, trying not to fall off his speeder, correct?
Right.
All right.
Oh
Don't
my
feel bad.
God.
Ewoks couldn't figure it out either.
Thanks.
So we're zooming along, I guess, and
In a caravan following Tanga's sweet little Cadillac, and then he's got another vehicle that one of his robo-goons is driving that's got Jink Janko in it, and the trunks are filled with Jink Janko's men.
that can't be comfortable.
It is evening, if I'm not mistaken.
It's probably night.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
nighttime.
I think it was evening when we arrived. Like it was just the sun was just setting on that scene when we showed up at the scorch mark.
At least one of the suns on Bavva has set. The other's probably close behind. It's a nice evening to be flying across the desert. You wish you knew where you're going. You've got coordinates, of course, but you're still not quite sure where it is.
Well,
Ladies
I'm
and
not
gentlemen,
driving.
the
Bears
John
and
Williams Orchestra.
That's right.
Yes.
Wa-da-da-da.
There you go, Gree. Admire the sunset.
It actually is really nice. You could get a strain back if she didn't rock the healing roll so hard. The drive is largely uneventful unless this die comes up. And it did not. So the drive, why? How many times am I going to have to, it's got to
It will come up with the dramatically appropriate moment. I'm sure.
Don't Star Wars me. So the drive is uneventful. Even if you knew what you were looking for out here in the middle of the rocky Bavva Desert, you probably wouldn't have been able to find it. T6's class on espionage and subterfuge did not prepare you for what Tanga has built out here.
Okay.
One of the fun things that militaries like to do, especially when you're worried about aerial spying, is you basically blend the top of your building to look exactly like the surrounding area. If you didn't see Tanga slowing down, you actually might have ran right into what you were looking at. The building is designed and painted perspectively, so it looks like the sky is behind it at all times. He's got a series of cameras set up that will project the exact time sky onto the upper 2/3 of the building, for lack of an exact measurement. So when you're looking at it from dead on straight, the way you would approach it with a land speeder, it doesn't look like there's necessarily a building there. Not until you get up really close to it.
So it's like the leap of faith from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
There's also actually a building like that in Japan.
And because of the way it works with Star Wars science-y stuff, that still works from the aerial because it's projecting the ground up as it's
Hologram technology.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sure.
So what he's got built out here is something that is nigh undetectable by the Imperials.
Crazy.
And pulling up, you can kind of tell that this is where Tanga is most of the time. This is his spot. This is
It's a large building.
Well, this is like a giant warehouse, yeah. So as Tanga's approaching, these two big doors, and I mean big, like hangar-sized doors, start splitting open. There's lights on inside and stuff, but you're still a little too far to see, or far away to see some ships, like real spaceships. There is, I don't know how well you are versed in this, but there's a headhunter in there. They're kind of two-person.
There are starfighters.
Yeah, they're two-person starfighters, basically. He's already got some stuff. He's got, like, transport pods.
Like maybe a T-16 Skyhopper?
I don't know what that one is.
Okay.
Maybe. There's
Maybe.
It's not really a warship. That's more like a...
It's a Skyhopper.
all the stuff's, modified. He's got speeders. The other thing you notice kind of right away is you don't see a lot of people here. One thing you've probably been picking up about Tanga is he prefers the company of droids, usually. And you're getting a lot of that kind of action as you pull up.
We see droids around. Yeah, we're like pulling into the hangar now, I imagine.
Exactly, yeah.
It is a hangar, right? It's like a big...
Well, it's a sectioned off hangar, so you get signaled in, drive in by some droids.
Is it like a compound, like it's walled, like a...
Yeah,
walled building
completely,
with,
yeah. Completely, and then
maybe
it's...
an open center or something that's also camouflaged?
As far as you can tell, it's a solid building. You get signaled to drive in by some droids. The hangar doors start closing behind you.
Okay.
What you got kind of here is a cross between the rebels getting ready at the end of A New Hope, sort of where they're all in that hangar prepping the X-Wings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's a cross between that and the Mos Eisley Cantina. Because you've got that level of action, but those characters.
Well, I thought it was all... Oh, you mean the guys that came in with us?
Yes. So once...
It's all droids.
Yeah, so once the thugs are kind of up, let get out of the trunk, they're kind of shown where gear is. They start tinkering with stuff. Everyone kind of knows what's going on. Tanga's barking orders really quick at people.
Are these a bunch of these battle goons, like the trench coat wearing
Yeah, so
droids,
you've
or
got
are
like
they some other
Jinkchenko's
things?
men. Well, you've got some of Jinkchenko's men that are kind of jumping right to work, and then you've got a collection of droids. None of them are like off the shelf. All of them have some kind of custom modification. And they're working on just basically maintaining everything that's going on in the base. There's constant stream of communication coming in and out.
Are there other life forms in here? I'm using sense.
Go ahead.
And no, I'm still stuck in that black tar.
What'd you get?
I got another 3 dark side points.
It calls to you.
You know, I'm really starting to think that Zen is associating that crystal with the dark pull of that cave. And even, like, as a player,
Yeah.
when he starts building the lightsaber, I think he's going to see that as something that is dark side. Like,
Yeah,
he's
there
going
you
to
go.
be one of those non-lightsaber using Jedi.
Pretty much the way it's happening. So you came up with 3 dark side pips on the dice.
I think there's a lot of uncertainty here. We just walked into a criminal overlord's secret military compound.
Yeah. And speaking of criminal overlords, where is Tanga? Where do we see him?
He's walking up onto this sort of catwalk scaffolding that kind of oversees the main hangar, and he's crossing it. If you look at he's going toward communications room or office. There's lots of hovering drones kind of buzzing around. You see lots of like encrypted signals coming in and out. People are calming in.
Oh, so did I get to follow him in their way? I
you
wanted to
get
say
to follow him?
I want
Sure.
to follow him like, Tanga, hold up. I wanted to ask you a question.
All right,
If he's up there on the catwalk or something.
Sure. Where are you guys? Are you guys all kind of just going with them?
Kind of following the
Okay.
group, yeah.
So you guys have been walking across the catwalk, following Tanga. He's been barking orders through his comm at everyone. You've heard some other voices coming back at the comm, and Tanga's, yell, "Get here quicker!" That kind of stuff. Like, we don't have time to waste, et cetera, et cetera. And he's making his way towards the little back room.
Well, I'd be like, nice spread, Tanga. You look a little bit light on manpower, though.
My men are coming. We got droids until then.
Yeah, nice place. Tanga, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
You're obviously trying to help somebody. You're not after that back so you can sell it. I just wanted to know if there's any... We'll help you get that back to... We'll help you help this person.
It just doesn't matter anymore. I told you that. He turns to leave.
We're engaged.
Yeah, we are
I'm
in...
using sense again.
Oh, not me and you, no. Come on, did it?
I found it.
What'd it come up?
3 light side.
3 lights? That looks like those are dark side from where I'm sitting. All right.
They're all
I need
clear.
verification. of those 3
I
light side.
verified those are lights.
All right, what are you using?
Sense.
You want a sense?
To get from that conversation, his emotions and his thoughts. I'm trying to figure out if she's dead or if he's just defeatist.
Okay. You access it. So what you get... Do you have any extension of the sense power?
I've where I can pick up thoughts.
Okay.
Because I know from my vision, I know what she looks like. I know there's a woman, and I saw the 2 of us standing over her corpse.
Okay.
So I imagine she's probably dead. Because of the question Gree asked, he's going to be thinking about the girl that I saw in the vision, I'm sure.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to figure out his emotional state and what his thoughts are, to try to figure out on my own whether or not she's still alive.
His wife is dead, unfortunately. Has been dead for probably at least a day, if not more. He's ignoring the grief right now, not letting it get in the way of business. In fact, it's very much becoming all business. He's...
Then I'll put a hand on Gree's shoulder.
That's exactly what
Well,
I
you
was
should finish your
picturing.
description.
He's presenting annoyed, but nobody's talking to him like you guys are. This is the only thing. He's in his head, he's yelling, "Get out of here, jerks," but you can tell that that's not what those words actually mean. Those are just the symbols his brain is coming up with to express those things.
So I put a hand on Gree's shoulder and tell him to drop it. You should let that go.
No, my heart still goes out to this criminal overlord, though. I feel real bad about it.
Let it go, man.
Nah, you want to get in it? Let's get in it. He slams his fist back and hits the door panel. The door slides open. Zen, you've seen this. There's a kind of altar table set up. There is a woman laying on it, you would assume dead. Hologram pictures of her perceptive eye picks up Tenga in them every now and then, but he doesn't look like Tenga. Like, he looks like Tenga's face, but he's not dressed like Tenga.
I'm picturing like a like Sleeping Beauty scenario, like the glass crystal case sort of thing.
Very much so.
Compose the
Very
body.
much so.
You know, something tasteful.
Well, it's still set. Her body's still set up in the Bacta delivery system that he had
tank.
acquired, but it, of course, it's
I'm assuming not the standing one that Luke was floating. in.
correct. Yeah, no, it's
a
a lay down like table side because he's built it himself practically.
Yeah.
It's so yeah.
And there's nobody else in here.
There's nobody else in here.
I closed the door.
All right. So the three of you are standing in this room by the door. Tenga kind of already started ignoring you and just walked over to the little glass case and stands in front of it.
This has never happened to me before, so I don't actually know. But I do know that you're not addressing this.
Oh, I'm addressing it. It doesn't matter.
I'm going to walk over to the glass case and put my hand on it too and say, "She's beautiful. Who is she?"
Is she actually beautiful?
She is. She's not that, dead people are beautiful, but
Right.
he's gone to great efforts to make sure she looks presentable. Even though he fully intends that nobody else is going to see this. Well, even though he kind of just lets you in, but he did not ever have that intention.
Right.
Her name was Pevra.
What happened?
You know how we used to have all them old miners before the Imperials moved in?
Yep.
Well, sometimes they get sick, and she'd help them out. There's something about the gases down there makes people real sick, and it can reacts weird with the human physiology. It can become a communal disease basically, and it's, as far as we can tell, it's kind of centralized to here, and it's only really been cropping up in the last 10-15 years.
So
Tenga, I'm sorry.
So she went down in the mines?
Nah, she just helped them. She'd have them over to the house. She'd nurse them back to health. She only had 3 of them die on her whole time. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Do you have the medical equipment to test for that disease?
Nah, we don't. It's not something that's even, they don't even say it's a disease. Like, I can't get treatment for something the Imperials don't even think exists. How do you write a requisition form for that? I had one of them actually tell me that. How am I supposed to write a requisition form for this?
What I'm thinking about is we were down in those caves and we have a human.
Yeah?
I just want to make sure we're not spreading it.
Nah, it's miners. They worked there. It was exposure, lots of exposure. These are creatures. They used to eat up all the bad stuff that was under the rocks.
Giant worms.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the
think we all
Imperials
do.
moved in, killed them all off, and all of a sudden everybody's getting sick.
They aren't all dead, but they're dying.
Well, she's dead.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like to lose people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tenga.
Yeah, me too. But enough of that. Why don't you guys go get ready? We got some fun to do tomorrow if you're still up for it.
Is there a room we can occupy?
Yeah, talk to one of the droids downstairs. They'll get you set up. I got a bunch of boys coming in tonight, so bunk space might be tight, but...
All right, so I'll lead the way. We'll go down and find a droid to direct us to a room that we can bunk up in.
Right, and I assume we're gonna leave Tenga in here with his memorial.
Right.
And I'll say I'll see you on the hangar floor.
He nods, but doesn't...
And
He's already turned back around.
yeah, I figure he's kind of like in his like grieving space to some degree. So yeah, when we get out of there, I'm gonna. Oh, well, that was heavy.
Does anybody want to say anything else before we do that?
I'm just going to say I'm sorry and then walk out.
All right, so you guys are walking back across the catwalk. There's droids pretty much flying around everywhere, so you can flag one down pretty easy.
Little hover droids, maybe. Neat.
Walk you downstairs, back through this little back alleyway. outside of the hangar. You know, it's pretty standard. There's bunks set up the way operating bases the Imperials had. In fact, you see some equipment that's been stolen from there.
Very,
and
very, very,
repurposed,
very,
set
very
up here.
similar. Isn't it in the Star Wars in this game? Aren't there something called refreshers? Is that a thing?
It's from
Like
the
a-
old West End games
Yeah.
Star Wars system. The bathroom was called the Refresher.
Oh, that's what they.
It was
okay.
It was the
All right.
shower slash
toilet, everything.
slash sink.
Yes, it can any sort of physiology.
Yeah.
All right,
I
but
want
at any
one.
rate,
Yeah, so there's refreshers. Yeah.
always sounds good. But I just need some. I need to change my shirt and just stop getting blood on everything everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's ask the droid for
I
some
rummage
extra
into
clothes.
Bear's bag and pull out the holocron.
Excellent.
Set it on the table.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys have power, keto jerky, showers,
Well,
and
yeah,
some free time.
Nice.
yeah. How's Jelly?
Jelly's
Jelly's
Jelly's good.
All right, find a
He's
snack for
He's
Jelly.
asleep.
Oh, okay. He's not. Well, of course he's asleep. He's not eating.
No, he's-
It's either one or the other.
in my head, Jelly has your crystal too, so he just kind of sits there like, well,
Right,
Like,
exactly.
one of the things that Bear likes, Jelly collects.
exactly,
Keeps
yeah.
in the pa- you
My
know,
shiny.
or they-
Absolutely.
Yeah, shiny stuff. I'll hold on to it for you. It's good. I'm not going to eat it. Hopefully.
It's a long shot, but I want to ask T6 about the crystals.
Yeah.
I also want to ask
And
him
the worms.
about possibly the worms, and
I have some.
about the mining tool.
The mining tool, guys. I have a feeling this
People
wasn't-
react to that in a way that.
Is it time to go to school then, pretty much?
Yep.
Classes in session.
Well, that's all for this week, but come back next week and see if Gree, Zen, and Bher can execute a prison break and rescue Bear's family from Imperial clutches. And don't forget to rate and leave us a review on iTunes. Thanks. We'll see you next week.